Greetings, sentient beings. This program is not intended for children. There will be strong language and adult themes. So, happy Occult Day, everyone. This was a day for observing paranormal experiences and experimenting with the devilish things. So, looks like we've got quite a good crew out there. Although StreamYard seems to have quite a lag. So, whoop. And I need to mute that. There we go. So I saw Dave and Linda and Amiga Nuts, Godless Sewing.
Good.
And of course we have Lone Wanderer and Doc Fearsome with us here.
Hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
So if anybody in the side, Robert X, that's who I missed. If anybody in the side chat has ever had something that seemed like a paranormal experience at the time, even if it was explained later, if you want to come in and share your stories. Doc Fearsome, of course, is a paranormal experience. So what about you, Wanderer? Have you ever encountered anything in your wanderings that seemed bizarre?
So many. One of the some of the big ones you can see in the back, I want to believe, have been around, UFO, things like that. One night, it was summertime. My boyfriend and I were watching one of those, I think it came out on Fox in late 90s, early 2000s, about a family that supposedly gets kidnapped, or abducted by aliens one Thanksgiving or something like that, and they all go through a series of creepy events, they start having nosebleeds, things like that, and then eventually at the end everyone's kidnapped by the aliens. Now we had finished watching that, we went to grab drinks and snacks and stuff, and I cut the corner and my boyfriend started having a nosebleed and I was just like, oh my god, are they here? Are they here? But then I realized afterwards it was a really hot night, and one of the vessels in his nose had busted because he was prone to nosebleeds. And then there was another time when I was maybe about maybe 11 or 12. I was sleeping on the couch in our front room. Everyone else was all in different parts of the house. So I'd had one of my migraines again, so I needed to go somewhere where no one was, and it was dark. So there doing my thing, sleeping, and I see this burst of bright white light, and I open my eyes, and I can't see anything for a minute. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm being taken, one of those things. And then I passed out because I got so excited, and then I woke up again to the same bright white light, and I realized it was the security light outside that my dad never turns on, but decided to because we'd almost got burgled a week earlier. And it was the cat running past. And I was thinking to myself, it's happening. And then there was other times where we saw, lights in the sky and was thinking it was a UFO, but I didn't realize that it was a satellite launch. So we were seeing a satellite go by. And then there was another time after my grandma died that I thought I saw a girl in my room. And it wasn't. I was freaking out. My sister had put one of her life-size dolls, in the corner of the room. I didn't see she put it in there. So I came back from the bathroom thinking there was a ghost in the room. I've had so many instances. I could go on all stream.
I've seen the effect of the swamp gas rising up, that it makes an area glow green under the moonlight.
Yep.
And, at least I understood what that was at the time it was happening. But yeah, there have been a couple of occasions that I've observed that and people with me started freaking out, being sure it was a UFO landing.
Yeah.
It does look pretty eerie if you don't know what's going on.
It does. And doors creaking, closing by themselves. I'm like, what is that about? And then I realized that there's a draft or something like that. When you're a little kid, you didn't realize that. Just like the door is closing. And then there was another one that freaked my sister out. We were doing the dishes, and like I'm not scientifically minded. Science was never my thing. But we were washing dishes, and I put the cup on the bench, and it started to move, and I was like, "Have I got telekinetic powers?" And I'm like, "I'll stop it," and then it stopped, and then it started again. But I didn't realize it was some kind of phenomenon with the water under the glass making it move. Like I didn't realize that was a thing.
Yeah, that didn't take much of a vibration to get the glass to start sliding.
Yeah.
Was it
Again, I freaked out. Was it?
was it full of any liquid or?
No, it was upside down because I was washing the dishes,
Oh,
but
okay.
there was a lot of bubbles and there was soap
Oh,
and
okay.
water.
So was
Yeah.
there liquid in it that could have leaked out?
Well, it was upside down.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah. So that could have created a slick surface and.
Yeah. But it was just the fact that it was slowly moving, and it wasn't like just, I was like, oh my gosh. Like, and it didn't help that I was watching the X-Files all the time.
Yeah.
I was just like, yeah, let's call Mulder and Scully.
Yeah, my stepdaughter's girlfriend was very much into the X-Files, so I wound up kind of passively watching a lot of it. I never got that much into the show myself.
Yeah. Oh, I was crazy about it. Like, my mom had got another TV. Oh, we go here.
Yeah, I love X-Files. I still love it.
No.
Pretty soon here, I'm gonna probably start a rewatch of the X-Files.
Yeah, I'll watch it with you.
I've been thinking about rewatching it from the beginning for a while.
Mm.
And did you ever see the spin-off Millennium?
Yes, I did. I loved Millennium.
Oh,
actually, I saw more of that than I did of the original X-Files.
And what about the spin-off of the Lone Ranger?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Lone Gunman.
Lone Gunman, that's it. Yeah.
Yep. I saw that too. It was pretty sweet, and that was the weird thing because their like pilot episode was about thwarting a plot to crash planes into the World Trade Center and blame it on terrorists to basically as a fundraiser so that the government would allocate more military funds.
Yep.
and that happened in that was in what, 98? They broadcast that.
See,
I wasn't aware of that.
See, my mother always said television give you bad ideas.
Yeah, I suppose that fueled a lot of the conspiracies there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that was one. I used to be a 9/11 truther for a few years after it happened. So that was one of my things. There was also an old Wonder Woman issue in the comic, where I think it was either I want to say she was trying to stop somebody from crashing into the World Trade Center, but the more I think about it, I think the person she was fighting made her slam her plane into the World Trade Center or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those comics were actually pretty dirty.
Yeah, some of them, yeah.
But I mean, it's not a bad thing. But it was just like I watched the bio film of the guy who created Wonder Woman.
Yeah, William Moulton Marsden, I think was his name. Yeah,
he was in a poly relationship.
Yeah, he was also a feminist, like a first wave feminist.
Mm-hmm.
And he also invented the lie detector.
Yeah, he did. Yep.
An interesting person, a very interesting person, from what little I know about him.
Colorful, my mother would say. Colorful.
Yep. Well, back to the topic.
Yes.
Yeah.
What about you, Purple?
Yeah, I've actually
They're cold.
had a number of experiences with ghosts, but admittedly, a lot of that was filtered through the fact that I was pagan for half my life. So, yeah, kind of wonder some of the same things if I had the same experiences now, how I might interpret them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But the weirdest one was when I happened to visit Ellis Island, and it was in the middle of the week. It wasn't very busy in there. The place was, it's a huge building,
Mm-hmm.
and that there were probably only like 50 people in there, so it was just everything was wide open.
Mm-hmm.
But just walking through there, it's like there was like a building background noise to the kind of hustle of a packed terminal, and I actually felt like a crowd pressing down on me. Like the whole
Wow.
place was packed and there wasn't any room to move around.
Wow.
And I swear I heard this man with a very thick Slavic accent saying, "Prove you made it, boy. Prove you got here."
Huh. That is crazy.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
ooh, yeah. You can't really explain that, can you?
well, I have had other occasions that I've had some auditory hallucinations when I have not slept very much, but
Mhm.
that was just so particularly vivid.
Well,
And that, and
yeah. Hmm.
there are a couple of things in my life that I'm still open to the possibility of ghosts,
Mm-hmm.
but unfortunately, since I can't get the events to repeat, there is no way to collect data on them.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So
Yeah.
I have to be open that there could be something out there, but I really don't know what it is. And that's
Yeah.
not saying that I definitively believe that we have a soul that survives after we die. That kind of seems unlikely, but at the same time, it just, yeah,
Well,
not quite sure how to process all that.
well, they say death is the last good adventure, isn't it? Death, you find out everything when you die.
Well, that's what they like to say, yeah.
Yeah.
Or you find out nothing because
You did.
death is the end of experience.
Mhm. Yeah. I mean, I'd like to believe in ghosts and things. It's something, out of the norm of life. And I mean, if we weren't open-minded, all three of us, we wouldn't be atheists in the first place.
Hmm.
You have to have an open mind in order
Yeah.
to go down that path. And
Well, and
yeah,
it's like I say, I reflect back on a lot of this stuff, and it's like, understanding just the psychology that, yeah, you filter it through what your worldview was at the time.
Mhm. Exactly. I mean, we used to play with Ouija boards all the time. That was fun. My father-in-law, what's this supernatural shit? Huh, that's true. My father-in-law and his sister and two cousins, they were playing with a Ouija board when they were about maybe 11 or 12, and they said that the Ouija board told them all exactly the day, the year, well, the age they would die. And two of them are already dead, and there's two left. And I told him, I said, out of courtesy, do you want to tell us when you're going to die so we can plan? But he refuses to talk about it. He's that terrified because the Ouija board apparently told them when they would die and how they would die. And the two of them that are already dead, it's the same way that they said on that Ouija board. So, and the crazy thing too is that he had said that they got told that how they would die, the date, how old they would be, and that they would be alone when they died. And the two that died were alone, and it was weird because they weren't supposed to be. Like his Aunt Alice, she died of a brain aneurysm at home alone, and her husband's a truck driver, so he wasn't there. And
Oof.
Aunt Karen, she died in hospital on the table. They were trying to get aneurysm out of her brain or something, and it busted. So.
Hmm.
But he refuses to say what the Ouija board said about him.
I remember playing with a Ouija board when I was a kid, but nothing real distinctive. Yeah, I had too many of the experiences that two people involved wanted it to say different things, so you could kind of tell that they were fighting it.
Yeah, and I mean, we dabbled in a lot of like occult witchcraft things, like especially after The Craft came out, that movie, in the 90s. Like I remember us dancing naked under the moonlight in the backyard, like reenacting scenes from that movie.
Yeah.
Damn, I was in the wrong coven.
Well, it was all female, so And
Well.
we were all into it. We're like, okay, like we should meet up when we all have our periods, and it'd be things like that. It was crazy. My mother would just sit there laughing at us watching from the window. Yeah. But it was fun. Yeah. See,
Yeah.
I'm not into cryptozoology. That's where I draw the line.
Oh, when I was a teenager, I was very big into the cryptids.
Yeah.
And as far as the Bigfoot thing, there was, like, as recently as 10,000 years ago, there was a very large man-ape species that was in Northeast Asia, and could have quite likely crossed over the Bering Strait Bridge when it was there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
and then Sarah Palin would see it from her porch.
Yeah, but just as far as there being a fairly recently extinct species that would have fit the profile of Bigfoot,
Yeah,
that certainly could have been, in the northwest part of North America.
it
So
could be
I have kind of wondered about that, and if maybe Native Americans or that may have found some of the fossilized remains or something of this creature, and if that may have been the beginnings of the legend.
Yeah, it was around recently enough to be around with humans, wasn't it?
Yeah, there was definitely a crossover to modern humans. That's why I'm thinking that, if Native Americans found bones that looked human but were clearly something about 8 feet tall, well, I don't think, but not 8 feet, but 7 feet tall.
Mm-hmm.
That's could very likely be the origins of the Bigfoot legend.
Yeah. Straining to remember the name of that species, something like Gigantopithecus or something. I'm probably mixing 7 different words, but
I think you're fairly close.
Gigantopithecus is a primate.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it looks like it could be a Bigfoot. I'm looking at the picture of it.
Yeah, that's the one Perp is talking about. It was around, like, what'd you say, 1,000 years ago?
I think it was like 10,000 years ago. Yeah,
or 10,000. Yeah. Heck yeah, there was primitive humans around then for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't understand how people can't say that we came from primates, but anyway, stay on topic of paranormal. I don't know. So yeah, talking about paranormal and in relation to religion, has anyone actually thought they had a religious experience?
I mean, I got into witchcraft when I was in college.
Mm-hmm.
Never really had anything that really convinced me that was truly magical. I mean, I convinced myself of things like when it would rain, I would pray to Thor to stop the rain, and like a few minutes later, it would fizzle down into like maybe a drizzle or a mist. and so, and I would convince myself a little bit that maybe I was influencing something. But this is Iowa, and like, I mean, you can get a downpour for literally like 5 seconds just out of nowhere.
Oh
You
yeah.
can just be like whoosh for like 5 seconds, and then it's done.
Yep.
And
Well,
it can also rain steadily for hours and hours and hours.
mhm.
I mean, the entire, like, any kind of rain possible, I swear it happens in Iowa.
Yeah, Microraptor, you need to talk to some pagans. There's a lot of it that is involved in that women's magic is more powerful during their periods, especially if you have several women who are synced together.
Yep. And it happens easily that you sync up if you're all together. It's just one of those things. I don't know, maybe it's a small mercy from Mother Nature that you get it at the same time. That way, you're not like one after the other bitching. You can all bitch together for a week. Yeah. But I mean, there's a lot of things about, Wicca or witchcraft. If you follow it back, it was all like folk magic of the time, or just like folk remedies that it came from.
Mhm.
Using herbs for healing and things like that. Yeah. And
Yeah,
then go ahead.
sorry, I was just going to go on this one that Microraptor was asking about the Cyclops. That if you look at an elephant skull that is missing the tusk, it actually
Yeah.
has a big opening right in the center. So it's quite possible that people could have taken a mammoth or an elephant skull as being a human skull with a single eye socket.
Huh. That's interesting.
Again, if it's something that they
Yep.
found, 1,000 years ago and they didn't understand about extinct animals.
Not to derail, but I'm curious what Nerdy thinks Doc needs to be blamed for exactly.
Oh, I'm sure we can find something to blame you for.
A lot of people do. Good morning, Dave.
Then there was the secretary who thought her typewriter was pregnant because it skipped a period.
Whoops.
That's a good one.
Oh, yeah, the weather. Okay, you got me on that one, Nerdy. Yeah, that was my fault. There is a delicate balance to nature. If you manipulate the weather in your locale, it can affect the weather elsewhere. Make it better where you're at, you'd tend to make it worse somewhere else.
Yes, but the question is whether or not you're responsible.
Whether I'm responsible for the weather?
Yep. Don't admit to anything. Oh.
On the other hand, it might be it might be fun to be institutionalized in a building covered with lightning rods. If I convince people I can control the weather.
That would be shocking. Hey, we just hit the half-hour mark and we're still on topic. That's got to be a new record for us.
Yep. I'm cracking
Fabulous.
the whip. I'm cracking the whip. We're staying on topic. Yeah. It's
Beats whipping the crack.
Oh gosh. No. Stay on topic. But I don't know, in the chat, has anyone ever had a experience that they couldn't explain at all to this day? They're still freaked out about it or still questioning it?
I did actually think of one though.
Go ahead.
And I mean, I really haven't experienced anything I would really call supernatural. But I did remember this one time. This was pretty weird. I have no explanation to this day. So I was at a friend's place. This was kind of a large apartment, a ground floor apartment that had a large basement too. It's like had a huge kitchen downstairs and seating area and like 3 bedrooms and shit. It was just freaking huge apartment and like 3 or 4 bedrooms upstairs too. And we were downstairs playing Vampire the Masquerade, and we were just kind of seated around this area, and then like the room behind us, the door was open, and I could have sworn I saw out of the corner of my eye a cat walking past and going into the bedroom, kind of walk almost right behind me. And I was just like, didn't think much of it in the moment, but these people didn't have any pets at all at the time. And then the dude that was DMing the game kind of starts looking at me with a weird smile, and he's like, "Did you just see a cat walk past?" And I was like, yeah, I fucking did. I was like, "What? We don't have a cat." I know. We looked in the bedroom, no cat around. We looked all around, there's no cat. And yeah, we never figured out what the hell that was. But only 2 of us saw it. So I don't know. It was weird. And I think I was still into Wicca at the time, so I probably thought it was a cat spirit that just wandered by.
Yeah, I've had a number of those. Well, actually, the apartment that my fiance and I first lived in when I moved in with her, that there seemed to be a 3rd cat there. That she had 2 cats, but we were often, it seemed that there was another one moving about. Even when the 2 of them would be asleep on the couch, we seemed to feel that there was a 3rd cat moving about somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And frequently, like, things being knocked off the desk in the other room when no one was in there.
Yeah, it's a strange thing. I mean, I think if you've got pets, even if they're over there sleeping on the couch, you're kind of used to them moving around, doing things, brushing up on you from time to time. And you might, in your mind, get focused on something and forget, where the cats are, and just kind of think in the back of your mind, hey, where are the cats? What are they doing? And then like a vague memory of them brushing by flashes in your mind, and it might cause you to kind of see one in a moment. But I don't know what could cause 2 people to see a cat roam around a place that doesn't have a cat.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
That one's still a mystery.
Yeah.
Well, and it is one of those things that, yeah, I can kind of see it as sort of a form of pareidolia.
Mm-hmm.
That if you're used to having cats around, that you could, easily explain things off that way.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I had the same thing when my dog died. I kept thinking I heard the bell ringing when he was walking through the house. And I look at the corner of my eye thinking I saw something. Yeah, I saw him. I turn around, there's nothing. But I could hear that chiming, ringing, but I guess I was always hearing it, so, It got to be really creepy. And then after about 2 weeks, it stopped, But I think it's just because of the fact that he died in the house, So it just felt like he was always there,
Yeah. Well, as far as religious experiences, Microraptor saying, the Norse myth made me feel what religious people would probably describe as feeling God's presence. I felt a connection to these characters as they were the gods my distant ancestors believed in. And I'm kind of that way too, that, if pressed for it, I do tend to default to the Norse mythology because my mother's side is Finnish. So even what I do observe as far as Yule traditions is basically things that are Scandinavian traditions from pre-Christian days.
Yeah. I mean, I have to say I'm still partial to the Norse gods. I have a Thor's Mjolnir. Common folk call it the hammer, as a necklace my husband bought me for my birthday a couple of years ago. And that thing is heavy as hell when I first put it on. Now I put it on and it feels like nothing. Yeah. I'll be right back.
Now, nerdy, if you really want holidays off from work, I believe Jewish is the religion you want to go, because they got a freaking ton of holidays, like freaking tons. Like some of them even last like a week and shit.
It was one of the things I loved about being pagan, because I was like, yeah, give me the 21st off, and I don't care about working Christmas Day, especially when you're going to pay me double time for it. By the time Christmas Day came around, my holiday was over with already.
Yeah, I don't really celebrate holidays. I mean,
yeah, I keep saying if I were going to believe in gods, that polytheism makes a lot more sense to me than monotheism. Because if there's only one all-powerful God in charge of everything, and you consider the state of the world, you have to figure he's kind of a bumbler, that he doesn't really have his act together. But if you believe there's like a dozen gods who are all arguing over who's in charge, then everything being screwed up kind of makes sense.
it's just like the American government.
Right.
But I just find it funny how gods tend to exemplify humanity, human traits. They're like humans but worse. They have jealousy, they have pettiness, they have greed, they have anger.
Yeah, they display all the human failings.
And kick them up a gear or two. Notice how whenever they curse somebody, that somebody always turns into some unstoppable monster.
Yeah, Harmonica Man, what's your Twitter handle? I'll send you a link. Yeah, if anybody missed it, Neil had Harmonica Man on for an interview a few days ago.
Yep, I watched that while I was at work. Tee.
So if anybody is interested who this enigmatic character who keeps hanging out in the side chats is, I missed the main interview and I haven't had a chance to go back and watch it yet. I got into the after party.
Yeah, I don't think I ever got to the, or well, I think I started watching the after party, but I didn't finish it before I had to get stuff done at work. So I have to go back and finish that. And I've never actually met somebody who was half harmonica, half man before.
Well, it's got some good tunes on their channel too there, so if you want to pop over and listen to some of his music.
Yeah,
I guess I was. Go ahead.
Yeah, he played some on his show with Neil, and it was awesome.
All right. Twitter's giving me problems with this. Uh, oh, come on.
Yes, indeed.
Twitter is giving me problems finding Harmonica Man here.
I think I do have an interesting perspective on the supernatural. I wonder if it'd be appropriate to share.
And there's Jenny. Harmonica Man, I'm trying to search for you on
Hello,
Twitter,
Jenny.
and it's coming back saying that there's no results.
Harmonica Man doesn't exist.
Well, I was trying to send him a link to get him in here because he seemed to have some interesting stories for today.
Well, you know what I'm going to say about the subject of today, right?
Oh, I can guess from you, but go ahead.
It's a bunch of hooey.
Okay, don't know if you were listening to any of our earlier stuff here.
No, just a couple minutes. Oops.
Oh, hey, Greg. Let me try. You people try to keep talking and stall the audience while I try to find a way to get this to work here.
Well, let's recap the last half hour. What have you guys been talking about?
We've actually stayed on topic so far. We've been talking about paranormal experiences.
Oh.
UFOs and Bigfoot and ghosts.
Phantom cats.
Okay.
I'm back.
Hi.
Hi.
I kind of think Trump is supernatural.
Yeah, I can't figure out how he got elected.
Yeah, I don't think he's really part of the human species.
No, the aliens dropped him here for a laugh, you know. Let's see what they do. And it's like, what were the aliens' names in The Simpsons?
Oh, I don't know.
Like Kang and something, you know, they're up there.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
spaceship
the octopus things.
just laughing at us. Oh gosh.
I was a giant X-Files fan, by the way.
Yes.
I
You see behind me.
even named two of my dogs Sculler and Molly.
Yeah.
I mean Mulder and Scully.
Yeah. You see my poster behind me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But it's I got that just before we closed on the house. I had some credit on Amazon, and I'm like, yeah, I'd really like one of those for the house. So it made in a company in Ohio. It says at the bottom of it. But,
Cool.
yeah. I don't know. Anyone who can still believe in God, that's a paranormal. How to explain that one?
Yeah, I agree. I would have to put God in the same bucket as ghosts and goblins.
Yeah. I don't know. It's fun to believe in ghosts and do the whole ghost hunting thing and all of that, but I know it's not true. That's how I can have fun with it that way. It's not anything.
Yep. Thanks, Amiga. Yeah, I just sent Harmonica Man a link in the email since I can't seem to get Twitter to cooperate.
I hate Twitter.
Yeah, it's almost as useless as Facebook.
I have not been on Facebook in so long. I found a way you can deactivate your account, but you can still use Messenger. without having an active account.
Uh,
So I'm
Yeah,
just
I get on Facebook on rare occasion, but
Uh.
and pretty much the main reason I'm on Twitter is so I can share links for these things.
yeah.
Again,
Hello.
I haven't been a regular on Facebook for
Hello.
at least 2 years.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey, so we got somebody new to our chat here. Been hanging
Friendly.
out in the side chat a lot, but this is the first time we've got him live.
Do you actually
Yay.
play harmonica?
Yeah, he does pretty well.
Oh yeah, check out his
Oh,
channel.
Okay, all right.
Extremely well.
Got some good music clips.
I've been thinking about taking up harmonica.
wow,
because
I'm
I'm an
getting tons of
asthmatic.
echo.
Echo.
I'm not hearing any echo.
Echo.
I was waiting for someone to do that. Echo.
Okay,
Of course
well,
it would be you. But I was thinking about taking up harmonica because I'm an asthmatic. They say it might help with, getting the lungs strengthened and everything.
Interesting. Wouldn't the ocarina do? Or...
So what's your paranormal experience, Jenny?
I don't have any. I don't believe in it. I've never had an
Nothing,
experience.
not even anything that happened when you were a kid.
Nope.
yeah,
Well,
ghosts won't hang around when you don't
we had
believe in them.
noises in my house when I was a kid that I would hear at night when I was trying to get to sleep, but it turned out it was just a refrigerator compressor and stuff like that.
See, she's Thelma from, Scooby-Doo. Doesn't believe in anything.
No, Scooby-Doo was after my cartoon years.
Yeah. When did that even start? I don't even know.
Oh gosh, I don't know.
Scooby-Doo? I think it was like-
Scooby Doo. I want to say late 70s.
No, I think
Or was it?
I think it started like the late 60s.
Yeah, I would think about then.
Yeah. I always loved the paranormal stories in that. It was cute.
Now, Scooby Doo was late 60s, Hanna-Barbera. The same thing with Johnny Quest in 67.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
I was wanting to say 68, but I wasn't really sure.
Johnny Quest was that late?
Yep. So, do any of you ever watch when? I don't really watch cable because I don't have it. But have you seen like the ghost hunter shows that they have sometimes?
No.
Like, no.
Yeah,
I've seen some.
Yeah.
I've watched some of those.
And I even wanted to make a comment about those shows. One of the reasons I even got into them was because I was digging the music in some of them because they always have that spooky music.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, after a season or two of Ghost Hunters, it dawned on me. I'm noticing the way they do their videos, and they always have the spooky music going, and they got creepy things they flash up all the time, and it's like the whole show is designed to spook you, even though there's like nothing paranormal happening. They've not filmed a single thing
I know, right?
that has any ghosts or any proof of anything supernatural. So it's like totally like by design duping people into this spooky mood so that every shadow these people film is suddenly a ghost. Every ball of dust that floats too close to the camera is an orb or some kind of ghost, and it's a curious thing.
Yeah. Actually, speaking of orbs, I was watching a debunk about how they actually make those aura cameras. They can take a photograph. All they do is expose the negatives before they put it in there. That's all it is. Like, it's supposed to be this special camera. Yeah. So, like, if any of you were like offered, $1,000 to stay in some haunted house for a weekend, would you do it?
Oh yeah,
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah.
I've had to spend nights in abandoned buildings already.
Mm-hmm.
I find them much safer than inhabited ones.
Yeah.
Especially no one wants to go near them.
Although that is one of my problems with sleeping, is that even when I'm asleep, my hearing is very acute.
Mhm.
So if I pick up any strange noises, I wake up and I can't fall back to sleep until I can identify what the noise is.
I wonder if you don't have sleep apnea.
No, I've been tested for that many times.
Because I was reading up on some stuff about apnea and things that happen, and that happen when you think you're asleep but you're not. Like if you are
that's better.
actually asleep. Hey, you're back.
Yep. Well, okay, we need to
Hello.
give Randy a chance to tell his story.
Go ahead.
So,
Which one do you want to hear? I mean, I got ghost stories and Bigfoot story and
The one that made you shit your pants the most.
Okay, that would be when I was a little kid, and my sister's room was next to mine. We lived in a partition basically off to the side of the house, and in the middle of the night, I heard this baby crying. I don't know if this is correct terminology, but back in the 70s, a mongoloid baby. I don't know, it's kind of that wah sounding.
Hmm.
Anyways,
No, we don't use that word anymore.
oh, okay. See, yeah.
We just Down
anyways,
syndrome.
I get up and I go over to my sister's bedroom because the doors were open because the heater was in the hallway between us, blowing in both rooms. And there's this baby sitting on the floor crying. And then my older sister gets up and she's reaching for it, just by nature, I guess. She is just going to nurture the thing and pick it up. And I said, "Don't touch it." And then she stopped. And then the thing just basically turned into a shadow and growled at me, turned around and growled at me, and then it just disappeared. So that was probably the scariest, weird thing. Dag nabbit. Potential spam. Off you go. I always forget to shut my damn phone off. Sorry about that.
it's okay.
Mhm.
So maybe it was a collective dream.
Maybe. Or maybe it was the fact that, we were scared half to death being in an uber religious family and always talking about demons and stuff like that. And so, yeah, it's probably a collective hallucination. That makes more sense to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that, people can be quite suggestible, especially when you're, if you're kind of unnerved or in that state of that you're starting to fall asleep.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's ever
Yep.
been any cultures that did not have religion, and nor did they have supernatural mythology.
It's doubtful because if you look at all the pre-Columbian cultures and things like that, doing sacrifice and things to try to appease the weather, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's possible.
Mythology is pretty much just people trying to find explanations for things before they have a full understanding.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Which is why I think we should
Well, even
have
back
a Bible
before
anymore.
that,
Yeah.
there was archaeological evidence of Neanderthals burying their dead and having small rituals in the caves and everything. Then after that, it was maybe they thought that because they lived in colder areas that their breath went out. Maybe it was a spirit or something that came out of them. Who knows? That's just somebody surmised that. But they think that then it turned into shamanism, and about the same time, people were walking across the land bridge. So, and that's where the Native Americans got their medicine men and shamanism and everything. Worshiping nature had a spirit in it and stuff. That actually happened in Europe and Asia about the same time, and then it turned into agriculture and city states, and one person being in charge of everybody, and the god kings being related to the shamans and who were, connected to the spirit world, and then religion started right about the same time society did, according to some archaeologists. I saw it on TV one time, so it's hard to say. It's a documentary.
Mhm.
Okay,
Or no,
we've got
it
a
was.
question.
I'm sorry. It was. Okay.
No, just that question from the side chat. Does anybody can anybody explain how collective hallucinations work?
I don't know a scientific explanation, but it would seem to me that if you have a number of people in a limited stimuli environment, that they could be encouraged to see this or that
Mhm.
by what each other in the group begins to say is they see or they feel.
Suggestion. Yeah.
Yeah, the power of suggestion.
Yeah.
But I don't know if there is a scientific explanation.
No,
I know there are, and
There's well documented cases of that.
Yep.
yeah, I
You
can't
know,
explain it
Fatima.
well myself. I know Holy Kool-Aid has done some things on it.
Well, I have had shared hallucinations with people when I've been on, say, peyote or psilocybin.
Yeah, on one of the only 2 times
Hold
in my
on,
life
hold
that
on.
I actually got high.
Do you have access to peyote? Asking for a friend.
No, this is 30, 40 years ago. No, I don't know if those people are even still alive.
Probably got lost somewhere in the desert.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah,
Next,
Greg
you'll be asking
Hardwick.
for Quaaludes.
Fed one too
Quaaludes.
many snakes.
Greg Hardwick said the Piranha tribe had no religion, and I vaguely recalled that there was a tribe in the Amazon that was supposed to be without a religion, but I didn't remember any information on them.
Yeah.
Micro, yes, that's Gillian Anderson.
I thought it was pronounced Jillian, but I don't know.
Maybe it is.
I've always said Jillian, but I've heard some people say Gillian. But I mean,
See, yeah, everybody keeps saying it's got to be Gillian because it's GIF.
no.
It can't be Jillian because it's GIF, not GIF.
What's a hard G?
Peanut butter.
Choosy Gillians, choose Jif.
See, I can't eat Jif peanut butter because where I come from, Jif is a bleach.
Oh.
Yeah. So whenever I look
Yeah,
at
see,
Jif,
Penny, I didn't know
peanut
you
butter,
had
I just smell
minions.
bleach.
See, there's too much sugar in it for me. I have to order specialty made by Southern Michigan, just peanuts and sea salt. And that's probably the best peanut butter I've ever had. Everything else is just, it's way too sweet for me to eat. And being a diabetic and all, I try to stay away from stuff like that.
Well, what I
gotta be
didn't realize
crunchy.
until recently is that most peanut butter has molasses in it, which
Yeah.
explains to me why I can't eat it, because I'm sensitive to sugarcane. Anything made from sugarcane upsets me.
Let's see.
I didn't know that.
Ew, bleach.
And we have.
Thanks, Jenny.
Welcome.
Whatever. No, now I've got
Yeah.
No.
Made from
Bleach.
roasted peanuts and sugar, contains 2% or less of molasses, fully hydrogenated
How do you just have a
vegetable
jar of
oils,
peanut? I don't want to know why you have a jar of peanut butter right there.
rapeseed, and soybean.
Can seem to
Mono and
get old.
diglyceride salt. Why? I can show you why.
Well,
I don't want to see your vibrator again. I've not eaten peanut butter out of the jar in years.
Wouldn't it be easier to use a knife to spread your peanut butter?
I used to live by a co-op that had a nut grinder, so you could just scoop out the fresh nuts and make your own peanut butter right there. So I didn't bother with the peanut butter. I'd do cashew butter.
I once worked at a lesbian bar that had a nut grinder.
Oh, sounds so good.
I thought that was what they call a bouncer in a lesbian bar.
Oh gosh. Yeah, I once walked into a lesbian bar. I didn't realize at the time. I'm like, something's not right about this place. You know, I was like, so I'm missing something. And then I was like, oh, there's no guys here. Oh, it's a gay bar. Okay. But there was that minute of like, you know, I'm like, where am I? Something's not right. Although I love gay bars though, because everyone leaves me alone because they could just tell I'm straight. Yeah, go there, have a drink, not get bothered.
Got another new person stopping in here.
Okay. Hi, new person.
Crimson.
Oh, I like the avatar. That's cool.
Yeah,
That's
some
pretty cool.
very interesting editorial pieces on their channel.
Oh, interesting. I'll have to check it out. But I think this conversation's gone from paranormal. I think we might have
Well,
done.
Randy could probably
now
bring
Crimson
it back.
has.
Sounds like he's got some more.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, maybe. Want to hear about my Bigfoot story?
Yes.
Sure.
There's two of them. My first one is about the hairy bitch that gave me a cold sore down at the farm market. Her name is Nadine. When I was
Was there
walking
something
by, and I'm like,
inhuman
my
about her?
buddy's like, looky there. There's a Bigfoot. And she's trying to whistle at me, and her face is so hairy, all it came out is like, yep.
Oh,
So, you know, a bet, a $20 bet and a half a gallon of whiskey later, well, I slept with a Bigfoot.
okay.
So there's my first story.
I hope you use protection.
My second.
Yeah. Otherwise,
Oh,
you'd
yeah.
hear the pitter
Yeah,
patter of
I
big
had a
feet.
32.
That would be little big feet.
Yep.
Little bit.
The slippity slapper. Yeah, I had protection. Not just a condom, but a 32 snub nose right under the pillow.
Oh, God.
And full plate body
My
armor.
second one was, yeah, that too. Oh, geez. Well, I thought I saw one behind the house, and so did my dog. So
Turns out
I
it
was
was her
walking my
coming back for
dog,
more.
and it could have been. But
Well, why would you think it was a Bigfoot
Yeah, whatever.
rather than, say, like a bear?
because I know what bears look like
Okay.
and smell like,
Okay.
and this one wasn't very far away.
So you've had the experience to
It's,
base it on. You
only
got
lasted
something
a
for
few seconds.
comparison.
Right.
What
And
part of the country do you live
have a
in? That,
local bear, though.
what part of the country do you live
Northern
in
Lower
that you
Michigan.
have Bigfoots? Hmm?
Northern Lower Michigan.
Oh,
Yep.
hmm.
Aaron Ra has the best
But I don't
Bigfoot
expect
story, and
anybody
I
to
keep
believe me.
having trouble finding it.
What about where you live or Bigfoot?
Bigfoots. Now the thing of it is, you're not convinced of something until you personally have sufficient evidence that's going to convince you. And anybody says, "Well, I just know," well, then you slipped right back into, okay, God exists because that's what they all say. I just know because of this or that, and you can't disprove it. I prayed one whole time, it came true. Blah blah blah. blah blah blah. So I don't, in order to have a correct way of thinking, to hell with it. That's just, my story, and it doesn't necessarily mean everybody else has to believe it. I don't care.
Yeah.
But I do live out in the woods, and I do go out and eat blackberries in the woods, and bears will come by and start eating them right alongside of me and stuff. And just as long as I'm not getting close to them, they won't pick a fight.
Yeah, that's what I try to tell people.
So,
They're not bears are not naturally aggressive. Like they'll fight you for food.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the most part, they
Well,
would rather avoid people.
when I first moved into my place, there was one that was digging up my carrots in my garden, and I took my army e-tool and ran out there and beat the crap right out of him and tore a chunk right out of his left ass cheek. And now we got a bald-butted bear walking around the neighborhood. Everybody's laughing at. There he is on a game cam. The old baldy butt.
Oh gosh.
Oh, he's good enough, big enough patch. I suppose
My
you could make a
carrots, will
toupee
you?
or something, eh?
Yeah, I can't find
Yeah.
it now, but Aaron Ra
I
had the
need
best
one.
Bigfoot story.
He did?
Oh yeah,
I haven't seen
it
that.
was
I'm
good.
really
Go ahead, Purple, tell it.
yeah.
Yeah, I was hoping to find it because I'm afraid I'm not going to tell it very well here. But that when he was walking along a road, and he had his full length coat and everything, and if you know what he looks like, he's a pretty big guy. And as he was walking along, he was hearing coyotes, and he realized that this pack of coyotes was tracking him. So he started getting worried, and when he saw a car coming up the road, he tried to wave the guy down. So he got up in the road waving his arms, and the guy just kind of zipped on past him. He's getting nervous, and the next one comes by. Same thing, and then apparently the next day, several people reported seeing Bigfoot walking down that road. So he said it's hard to believe in Bigfoot when you're him. And in June 2019, I met him at the ARC protest. I knew he was going to be there. And my sister had given me a bumper sticker that said, I met Bigfoot, but no one believed him. So I got Aaron Ra to sign that, and I got a picture of him that I've got framed with that sticker.
Sweet.
Was that the one where he went off at Kent Hovind's kid? I think he was there trying to say that they have an argument, and he said apes don't have tails. You moron.
Oh, I know he's gone off on him so many times.
I think that was at that. I remember seeing some videos.
Yeah. What's his name? Eric Hovind's like, yeah, apes have tails. He's like, apes don't have tails, you moron.
I had a video this summer of a friend of mine in a Bigfoot costume, and there's about 20 guys camping. They're retired firemen, and they come up a couple times a year and camp in the cabin behind my house. And one guy bought a Bigfoot costume and was sneaking around the camp, and I'm like, okay, this is going to be fun. So I just did a little short video of, see, I told you he's real, kind of thing. And he's like, give me some beef jerky. So it was fun.
I went snipe hunting once.
You did?
Did you find one?
No.
No,
Almost.
Microraptor, no one ever sees me.
Yeah, they're elusive little critters.
No one comes to the door anymore. I even scared away the Mormons. They don't even want to play anymore.
Well, I don't know if it counts as a paranormal experience, but when I was pagan, I put a 5-foot lighted pentacle on the side of the house for Yule.
Yes.
And the Jehovah's Witnesses never came around again, so maybe it really does ward off evil.
Although there was one that I really want to know how the hell they got her husband's name and address, because his name, I mean, is on nothing to do with the house, but there's a Jehovah's Witness that lives a couple of streets over from us, and he sent everyone a handwritten letter, and he had like our address and my husband's name. Like, it's on nothing, so I don't know how the hell he got it.
Jehovah's Witnesses, I wouldn't put it past them to write down license plate numbers and find out who the cars belong to.
You can't get that information in most states. You used to be able to, but
Yeah, I mean, I remember you used to be able to go to the post office and buy addresses and names and addresses, but I don't think you can do that anymore. Because, like, we're in the phone book, but it's just my first initial and my last name. He's not even on it because I had the telephone packages under my name.
Well, I've actually got that here. That I don't know how they got my name connected to this address.
Yeah.
But I'm getting mailings from a local church here.
It's like,
basically just inviting me to come and worship, and it's like, how did you ever get me on your mailing list?
To you? Is it sent to you personally?
Yeah.
Huh. It's got my name on it.
Interesting.
And it's just really freaky.
I stopped getting those a long time ago. Everybody in town knows I'm the atheist in town, and I'm also the mean old man with the garden hose. So they're all the little
kids
bastards.
Come around and you
stay off my lawn now. Yep.
Speaking of which, there was a mean old guy that lived in a house behind our high school, and he used to take pop shots at kids who were cutting class because they'd jump over the fence and run past his house. I mean, it was blanks, but still, he'd shoot at the kids. He'd be like, "Go back to school, learn something, pa!"
Nice neighbor.
There used to be a game just to get past him.
Yeah, the police came out to my house last year, and it's not that I ever, loaded a weapon or aimed it at anybody or anything, but I told my banker that I was going to, bring a howitzer in and shove it up its ass if he didn't stop stealing my money. And of course, the cops came out. You can't say stuff like that. And I said, does it look like I can afford a howitzer? Do you see one of those things out in the yard? He's like, well, why did you threaten to kill somebody? I said, I didn't. I threatened to shove a howitzer up his ass. He's like, well, the banker. And the cop says, well, you can't be doing stuff like that. That's a death threat. And it's like, no, it's not. So besides, you don't see, well, why don't you go catch the guy who's actually stealing the money instead of standing out here in the victim's lawn and telling him not to get pissed about it.
Good for you.
And and then he just did his thing where you got to calm the guy down with the psychology and all that stuff. And it's like, you know what, you whippersnappers, just get off my lawn. You've got maybe 4 or 5 minutes until I find where the hose is at. He said, I bet you I get the drop on you. And I said, I don't care. I've been shot before. He just pissed me off. We were just joking around after that. It wasn't, nothing was serious. He knew that I had just been fed up with, the BS of how the business model of the banking system is bank fraud. Mm-hmm. But if you or I did that, we go to prison forever.
Exactly.
And, it's like good
used to
old
call that
Andy
shit
Dufresne, my friend. Yep.
Used to call that racketeering. That's hilarious.
There you are, Doc. Had wondered what
Hello.
you
Yeah, my phone overheated and restarted itself.
Must be internet problems.
It happens.
No, it's a phone problem. I do this on my smartphone. I don't own a computer. Yeah, StreamYard is murder on smartphones.
Yeah.
Yeah, the StreamYard app on mobile devices is not really good.
No, it's not.
Excuse me.
You're better off going actually opening a browser window on your phone than doing the app.
I just click the link on Twitter is what I usually do.
Yeah.
So it probably has Twitter running in the background too.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, if you're going through Twitter, then Twitter's going to keep tracking where you're going.
Yep. Oh, did you guys watch the Senate hearings yesterday? Because Facebook was trying to deny that they track people.
You're kidding, really?
Yep. Straight up and down. He was like, I've never seen this program before, not to my knowledge.
Oh,
It's like,
man.
yeah, it was right there because a whistleblower called a congressman's office or a senator's office to tell them all about how Facebook works.
They're just finding that out now, huh?
Yeah, and Zuckerberg's like, no, never heard of that. Yeah.
Who was that?
Okay.
Who was
Plausible
denying it?
deniability.
Mark Zuckerberg, the guy that owns Facebook.
Yeah, well,
Oh, yeah,
as far as
yeah.
Zuckerberg goes, either he knows what's going on and he's lying, or he's completely incompetent if he has no clue what his company is doing. Either way, that's bad.
Yeah, I'll go with incompetent.
Either way, he's still a Republican.
Yep. With more money than sense. Well, I'm out of stories.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, I'm just trying to keep the description updated here and get everybody's links in there so that when people watch this later, they can find all of you wonderful people.
Yay. Find us. But don't go to Harmonicus because he'll shove something up your ass.
Well, isn't that how you get the harmonica into the prison?
You guys know about Goatman, right?
I didn't catch
Goatman?
that.
Goatman?
No.
No?
No.
Any specific one? There are many.
Well, Goatman of Wisconsin.
No.
Okay.
Go ahead, Jenny, tell us.
Well, I don't know much about him. It's just that he's a goat man and he hangs out in like central Wisconsin and bothers people from time to time. Further north in Wisconsin, there's the Hodag.
Yeah, well, the goat man wouldn't surprise me. I mean, after a couple hundred years of fucking sheep, something like that's bound to happen.
But it's
I
a
heard
goat,
that
not a
was
sheep.
Montana dating service. Oh yeah, there's Beast of Bray Road, werewolf stories, Michigan Dog Man, all kinds of foolishness.
Yeah, I've heard about the Michigan Dog Man.
Oh, I haven't heard that one. What is it?
Actually, I live in the area where the legend supposedly started, and it wasn't until the song came out on the radio that was all made up and stuff for Halloween that everybody started coming out and telling we saw one of those. And it's like, oh, for Pete's sakes, you didn't even see the wall you walked into last night, you drunken son of a bitch. You didn't see a dog, man.
Yeah, and that was kind of it. That I was living in a small town in the Upper Peninsula.
What kind of
And
dog?
it was hard to believe much of anything anybody reported because, there wasn't anything to do there but drink. So all these things that were reported being seen at night when people were walking home from the bars, it's like, yeah, that was your cousin Earl, wasn't it?
Yep, I wouldn't put it past them.
Just flashed across my screen. New York City is closing all public schools tomorrow.
Oh.
Yeah, I posted a thing on Twitter yesterday that, people are acting surprised that there's now a huge increase in the number of COVID cases among kids. I mean, who could have expected
Yeah.
that when they
I
opened the
know.
schools?
Who could have predicted that?
But no, kids don't get it.
Here we are in the midst of this just huge surge that's going on,
Hmm.
and there's still people saying that masks and being close have nothing to do with it. That's just bullshit.
Jeez.
You know, it's like, good Lord, you people. What does it take to show you facts?
You
How
can't
many
fix
more people do you
stupid.
need dead before you believe this?
Well, you
Can't fix
can't
stupid.
because Trump and his team have been denying it for so long. You know, and Trump, of course, can't be wrong.
Oh no. God forbid.
I mean, if Trump contradicted Jesus, Jesus would be wrong.
Yeah. So, I swear that man thinks he's Jesus.
Well,
No, he's not
the
Christian
mini
at
me
all.
Jesus.
Neither
Donald
was
Trump
Christ.
never
He
saw
was
the inside of a church until he ran for president.
Yeah, but Christ
Yeah.
was Jewish, not.
Yeah, and Michigan, Wisconsin, Minnesota all have very heavy Scandinavian influences.
Yes, they do.
A lot of Scandinavian settlers up in these areas.
Well, yeah, in Minnesota, you haven't heard brothers because you probably haven't lived here long enough. Purple, but Lutefisk man.
Oh yeah, well, the reason I wanted to get back to Minnesota was I had lived here for 25 years before.
Oh, okay. Well, then you know about Lutefisk man.
Yeah, I lived in St. Paul for best part of 25 years.
What the hell is that?
Lutefisk man. He's just a spirit that tends to operate in neighborhoods and houses of people who are fans of Lutefisk, and does shit to them. Changes
Often just referred to as
stomachs
the
and-
man with the horrible odor.
Well, yeah, that's
Yeah.
how you know he's there. He's smelling first.
So it's something to blame on whoever's farting.
Yeah, it's very commonly found in elevators.
Yep. Well, what do they have? Yeah, they have down here the Rougarou, the swamp monster. They tell the kid, well, the bayou monster. They tell the kids if you don't go to bed, the Rougarou's going to get you. Come out of the bayou and take you away.
Can you believe that? What damn network is it? The CW, is that it, or was it the Fox network? One of them's come out with the Swampthing again.
Again.
It was a bad series in the 60s or 70s, and it's a bad series now.
Hey, Sloth Girl.
Good Lord.
Well, is that based on the Marvel comic?
Yeah.
Okay, the comic actually was decent, but yeah, they're adaptations generally.
Crap.
It's what's the show called again?
Swamp-Thing.
Oh, Swampthing, yeah.
It does nothing but smack of desperation. Then we're gonna make a superhero out of anything. You know, next thing you're gonna find is Hairball Man or something.
No. Desperation is
Don't get many ideas.
Dallas.
No, Swamp Thing was a Marvel comic in the 70s and 80s, and it actually was, fairly decent. It wasn't your typical like superhero comic. It was more of a throwback to the, the sort of 60s, kind of misunderstood monster horror genre.
Well, that's what Marvel was before they got into superheroes. They didn't start doing superhero stuff until like '68 with Fantastic Four and the X-Men, and they were doing monster comics. And in fact, characters like the Hulk and the Fantastic Four, especially the Thing, those were very monster-like characters. They're monsters that were superheroes.
Yeah, well, even Spider-Man's first appearance was in Amazing Tales.
Yeah, and like the creators, like Stan Lee and those folks, they even said like, we made those characters because that way, if the whole superhero thing flopped, we can always go back and say, well, we're still making monster comics. We weren't making superheroes. They're monster comics.
Little backup
Well, the
plan.
thing about the Swamp Thing is that it's supposed to be like every climate scientist's hero. He's always fighting for nature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
yeah.
I'll believe it when I see an episode that discovers Donald Trump in the swamp somewhere.
Yeah, he tried to drain the swamp, but he couldn't get it quite right.
Okay, Sloth Girl says it's on CW.
CW. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Oh, and for anyone
See,
who
I don't
didn't
watch
know what,
TV anymore, so
what
I don't know a
Bigfoot
whole
is.
lot about.
I haven't watched TV in so long. I get everything off YouTube or Roku. Free stuff.
Yeah, I don't really watch TV either, except like when I'm upstairs eating dinner with Sloth Girl. Other than that, it's like I'll occasionally watch something on Netflix, but that's like maybe one program a month at this point.
Yeah.
Keep an eye out for Pirates of the North Coast on Netflix or
Okay.
Hulu or whatever. That's
Pirates
supposed to
of
be
the
coming
North
out in
Coast.
December.
December. Okay.
Yep.
The North Coast
It's
of
the
what?
stupidest thing you'll ever watch. That's
Oh, dear.
it. Just Pirates of the North Coast.
Is it meant to be a spoof, or is
And
it just badly researched?
a romantic comedy that is got a budget of about 2 ham sandwiches.
Ah,
And I should know because I played the bad guy in that son of a bitch, and they're like, "You're an actor now," and I'm like, "Did you see what just happened in front of you? I'm really not an actor, and neither is nobody here is. Just a bunch of idiots with lines."
You call that acting?
It was fun.
But it's going to be on Netflix, huh? Or on one of the streaming services.
Something.
If you're in it, I'm eager to see it.
Yep. Watch him. He'll get us 15 minutes of fame and then forget about us all.
okay, Wanderer, you've been caught with the yarn. You need to fix up to what you're doing there.
Oh, I'm unraveling a sweater that I didn't like, and I'm making another cardigan, and I'm gonna make it super long, and it's gonna be half gray, half black,
Vertically or horizontally?
vertically.
Okay, now what is it that qualifies a sweater as being a cardigan?
Cardigans are open. You put them over like a what do you call it here? A shawl or something? Like they button up at the front.
But you never
Shawl
actually
enough.
button them.
Whereas sweaters, are like pullovers.
Yep.
I guess you could compare a sweater to like a robe, for argument's sake.
And then you start feeling like an old cardigan under somebody's bed until someone puts you on and says that you're their favorite. See if anybody cues into
Yes,
that in
never
the
again.
chat.
That is correct.
Well, if you find an old cardigan under somebody's bed, you need to check if one of their grandparents is still in it.
Oh no. But no, never again is correct. But no, there was one I knitted a couple of weeks ago, and I didn't like it. It was too close fitting, and it made me look really, really fat. So I was like, no, I'll unravel it and make something else.
I'd like to get a knee length or just above the knee length cardigan.
Yeah, those are nice, big long ones.
Yeah, with big patch pockets and
Yep.
like a marled kind of yarn.
Yeah. Those are
These
nice.
things are beyond my knowledge base.
Yeah, I was not expecting the yarn talk to completely take over, but whatever.
It's Sloth Girl's fault. Yell upstairs or for.
Well, that's kind of supernatural, isn't it? How did you make all those knots turn into a piece of cloth?
Lots of
That
swearing
is
and
amazing,
cussing
isn't
and
it? Crocheting
It is.
especially is mysterious.
yeah.
How you just as one little hook you can do all that.
Yep. See, I really don't. I don't do crochet. You know, I've tried, and I just end up swearing and throwing it.
Yeah, I tried crochet also, and I
Yeah,
just
Sloth Girl says it's magic.
just
Yep.
couldn't
That
do it.
she takes balls of yarn and she sits there for hours waving two wands and muttering incantations, and a sweater appears.
Yeah, incantations of motherfucker. Especially like you'd be sitting there knitting.
Yeah, that's how seamstresses talk.
You'd be sitting there knitting, and I'm like, "Fuck! I dropped a stitch, motherfucker!" And then I pull it off, and my husband's just like, "What the fuck are you doing?" I'm like, "Leave me the fuck alone." He's like, "Okay."
Is that like how I don't need church? I do all my worship at the golf course. God damn it, Jesus Christ!
Oh, but no, that's golf is known for that. That's where I learned how to swear is golf.
Only thing
My
I
mom
learned
took me
from golf
golfing
is
and
how to
taught me.
fuck on a golf course without getting caught. True story.
Hey, wrong hole. How can it be
I
the wrong
believe you.
hole? I'm way over here.
I did it on a bypass once in front of traffic
Awesome.
with a gypsy woman. It was fun.
I did it in a playground in a public park after dark.
Yeah, I've done the public park too.
I got you beat, Harmonica Man. I bypass sex all the time.
That's a good one.
Sex? What's that?
You know what it
I
is.
haven't
You
had
got
it in so long, I don't even know how to spell SEKS.
No, it's been way too long. I don't remember.
Do you know what's funny though, harmonica? You said SEKS,
What's
right?
that?
That is sex in Turkish.
Mhm.
That's how you spell it.
Huh.
SEK is Swedish krona.
Yeah.
Now I want to go have sex with a Turkish woman.
Apparently they're freaky as shit.
Cool.
Well, I expect next week there will be a lot of people having sex with turkeys.
Well, Jenny knows that when we were on Critical Cripple answering the questions that I came up with, what's the craziest place anybody's ever had sex? And I admitted that it was on the White House driveway in a military van. I don't know if you remember that or not.
No, I don't.
Oh, okay.
Do
Well, I got you all beat. Well, it was my job to go between Fort Bragg and Washington to haul generals and admirals and politicians around and stuff like that as a special duty driver. And there was a young officer. She was, let's just say we had to wait out in the van and spend some time. So that's what we did. Well, everybody else was in there having a big old meeting.
Well, I know of
So-
one girl when she was in the Marines and they were doing like practice jumping out of planes and stuff. She was attached to a guy and they were having sex midair,
Oh, wow.
No, they weren't.
jumping out.
That's a good story, but you can't do that. That's not
Flippity
going to
floppity.
happen. It's just not going to happen.
How do you know?
I've heard of people doing it skydiving, and that's what
How
I'm
they're
kind of skeptical
harnessed
of.
together to do a dual jump. How many people are in the plane? How big the plane is? How everybody is shoulder to shoulder, packed like sardines. How are they going to prep for that? It doesn't happen. No. Good story though.
I have actually seen people who had jumpsuits that were especially made with zippers in the right places to accommodate that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but not while you're jumping. Military doesn't jump from that high. Military jumps from 5,000 feet and less.
Unless you're doing a halo.
Well, yeah, if you're the SEALs or something like that, and you're doing a deep undercover thing, deep penetration, you might go at 10,000, 15,000. But
deep
infantry
penetration.
infantry doesn't jump that high. I had sex in an elevator at the hospital I worked at once. It was the back elevator, a service elevator, and everybody kind of knew that's what it was used for.
No. I hope you brought the Lysol in.
So if it wasn't operating correctly, nobody ever brought it up or mentioned anything because they knew.
Did you bring the Lysol wipes?
No, we just kind of stayed clean. It was carpeted floor, ozite,
I had sex in an elevator with someone I was seeing. It was the elevator of their condo building. Because I had backed into the panel one time and accidentally discovered that when the elevator stopped, the alarm didn't go off. So I just stopped the elevator halfway down and going down.
Yeah, this one had the alarm disconnected because it was expected to be stopped while you're emptying it out. Whatever you're transporting.
Huh. With me, it was usually tour buses and hotel rooms.
Yep.
Only did one hotel room.
I don't know. See, the whole thing about the hotel room is kind of off-putting because I'm like, how many other people have fucked in here? Don't even bring one of those black lights in one of those rooms.
I was just thinking that.
You can see it from orbit.
Yeah.
Did they really change the sheets? Oh, nope.
When I was living in New York, a sloth girl came to visit me, and she wanted to go see Niagara Falls, so we drove up for that. And just got this little roadside motel, and it's like as soon as we opened the door, it's like, this motel room was the scene of every porno movie shot in the 1970s.
Yep.
Right down to the bathroom fixtures, the sink and the toilet in the bathroom were pink.
Yeah, I think there was a meme I saw, like, when you go for a job interview and you recognize the furniture. It's like not safe. That was a good one.
Yes, it was.
Oh, Wanderer.
Things that make you go.
Yes.
Sloth Girl is offering to send you her spare ball winder since you seem to need one.
Oh, you can if you want to. That'd be lovely.
If you want to drop me a mailing address on Twitter.
Sure, I will. Oh, any other crap she wants to give me too. I need some, what are those little, what are they called? Little hooks to, what are they called? Stitch markers, there. I need some of those. You got any old yarn you don't want? Just,
Okay, well, you two should talk on Twitter then.
I want to start doing some needlework. Needlepoint and stuff.
I haven't done needlepoint in years. We used to do it at church.
So there's nobody who teaches stuff.
The term
like
hooker means something totally different.
Yep. Yeah, my mother-in-law made that joke. She's like, I'm a hooker. Like, see? Crochet.
I've always found it humorous that in Britain or in the
You'll get
in
it
the
out.
U.S., hiring a solicitor can get you put in jail, and in Britain, hiring a solicitor gets you out of jail.
Yes. Yeah. But your solicitor can't come to court. That's when you get your barrister.
Okay. I was never quite clear on what the distinction was there.
Yeah, barristers argue in court.
So Anthony Riley is not a barrister; he's a solicitor.
Who's that? Who's that?
The flat earther.
Oh. Yeah, I don't listen to flat earthers.
Good out of context comment.
Yeah, I've been ignoring them for quite a while. I need to get back into that and get some more laughs. See
Well,
what
didn't
these
you
idiots are up
guys
to.
usually do it for movie night?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Um,
Hang on
but
just a
it's,
second, guys. My sugar's dropping. I'll be right.
Okay.
we've kind of let it slide a bit for going after other stuff, but I think it's time that we get back into doing them, and we are. I talked about it, and
Yeah.
we're going to do them a little bit more frequently. There's a lot of new guys. I mean, it's all the same bullshit arguments, and their arguments don't make any sense whatsoever, and all that. But they have new people seem to have a new way of presenting the same crap. So it's a new set. It's a new set of things to laugh at.
Yeah. So I'm looking at the time and wondering if I should eat something too. I'm just like, I've
Yeah,
been
I
yeah,
just
go.
got some salami and cheese I'm snacking on because I didn't get a chance to eat before this started.
Yeah, I've been trying to get on the plant-based, meat substitute things. I've had some really awful things, and then I've had some things that taste nice, but it's not the texture or consistency of meat at all. Talking about fuzzy balls and deep penetration. Sounds like a wild Saturday night.
No. For
Why
me, a
not?
wild Saturday night is having a cup of coffee at 9 o'clock and going to bed by 12.
Okay, and a clarification on the barristers.
Ah. Where's Osiris from? Is he Australia or England?
I'm not sure.
Oh.
Mm.
Osiris, what country are you in?
What's the difference between Crown Court and normal court?
Crown Court is like High Court, like the bad stuff. You've done like a triple murder,
Oh.
like the normal court's like petty stuff, theft.
So prostitution is under Crown Court?
No, prostitution, normal court.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so yeah. So yeah, Perp is right. Solicitors.
For normal court.
Yeah. Yeah. Get you. Solicitors will get you out of jail.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Meow, say meow. Oh.
Well, Sloth Girl was saying small claims court versus regular court. I don't think that's quite the same, because small claims court are strictly civil suits. They don't handle criminal things.
Yeah.
Yeah, based on a dollar limit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not even worth it to take them to small claims. Sadly. Although I would do it just to be vindictive,
I was in small claims court once with a gripe against a mechanic, and unfortunately I just felt that the judge didn't even really want to hear my side of the story and just made a decision.
Yeah. That's why I get so nervous about if we ever need any major work done to the house, because a lot of the contractors around here, they just take the money and run, That's why I'd be like, look, I need to go with someone who's established, who has, a bankroll behind them, because you're only getting paid when the job's done,
Who has an actual building?
Yeah, exactly. If you don't like it, I'll find someone else. And if it's an issue that you don't have materials, well, I will go with you to Home Depot. I will buy the materials, and bring them back to the house, because it's just so bad around these parts. What's worse is that they have one guy that they keep saying they can't serve. Everyone knows where he friggin' lives. They keep going around there, and the wife's like, "Oh, he doesn't live here anymore," and he's hiding in the back room. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, well, that's the kind of work I do. I do all sorts of home repairs, and
Yeah.
it gets pretty
Take
difficult
people's
because
money
there
and
are so
don't do
many
anything.
shysters out there.
Yeah. A lot of
Apologize
cowboys.
for that, guys. I'm back now.
That's
No
fine.
problem. But yeah, mechanics I have a problem with because
Yeah.
I'm not too good with cars.
Yeah. But you know enough not to get ripped off, though. Yeah.
Well, yeah, sometimes I can't, especially internal engine stuff. You know, I gotta kind of take the word of somebody who's got more expertise on it. But like
That's when you call Jenny.
well, a couple of weeks ago, I had new tires put on my car, and they were telling me it had a broken coil spring.
No.
And I got under it and looked myself. I can't find anything broken under there.
Mm-hmm. It's like pointed out, show me where it is, you know? Show me the money.
Yeah.
But why don't you work on the car for Purple, Jenny?
Because I'm retired.
Oh.
Well, also, we're about 2.5, 3 hours apart. And
Well, there's that.
Make a
And-
day
Yeah.
trip out of it.
and
I-
even
and
if
I
you
don't-
came up
I-
here, don't have any place here that I can work on vehicles.
And I have no way to transport 1.5 tons worth of tools.
What, they won't fit in your car?
No, the toolbox is about the size of the car.
Oh gosh.
Well, I've got the basic tools. It's only if they need specialized things.
Yeah. That's one thing that's really bothering me lately. Like, people are just calling when they need things, not to say hi, like calling my husband, like, can you come fix this? Can you come fix that? Not like, hi, how are you? You know? It's whatever, it's just hey. Like, why can't people just call and say hi anymore? Why does it have to be I want something? You know?
You know, I used to get that a lot too, and then I retired.
Refill the blinker fluid.
Well, in the blinker fluid reservoir. Jeez, what a dumb question.
That's so mean when parents do that to their kids. I've seen them do that. They go into like AutoZone and they're like, I need some blinker fluid. I'm just like, oh. Yeah.
Well, you know, there used to be one of the other jokes, like blinker fluid was muffler bearings.
Muffler.
And then BMW came out with an exhaust system that had bearings in it, and there really were muffler bearings.
Oh my gosh.
Oh God.
They have this
Of
little
course.
they have this little flap. It's a tool system, and they have a little flap that closes off one half of the system when it's idling, so it'll be quieter.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but then when it opens up to a certain RPM, the flap opens, so you have a better breathing engine. And the little flap is mounted in a set of bearings. So if they go bad, they need to be replaced, and those are muffler bearings. So
Yeah.
we can't use that one anymore.
Oh, hey, I forgot to ask, how's your nephew doing?
Oh, I actually talked to him this morning. He's doing better. He's up and around. He's had this for a couple of weeks and didn't want to get anybody upset, so we only heard about it a few days ago.
Oh.
But he's doing better. He's still really tired. And he says he's going to be okay. Nobody in the house seems to have caught it. They've been
That's good.
quarantining for a couple of weeks, and yeah, he's
Well,
got
that's a
two
relief
young
that-
daughters.
Yeah.
Yeah, that nobody else in the house caught it.
That's
So,
good.
but you know, it ruins Thanksgiving.
I know. I was trying to get out of Thanksgiving this
Well,
year.
Jenny, it seems that you sometimes don't check your personal Twitter. I had sent you a message that Sloth Girl wanted you to come and spend Thanksgiving with us if you don't have other plans.
Actually, my plans for Thanksgiving were going to be to not go anywhere because I'm scared to death of the virus. It's gotten so bad in this area.
Yeah.
The
Well, I
death
can
rate is like
understand that.
tripled, and the hospitals are filled.
Yeah.
And my doctor did warn me that if I caught it, I was going to die.
Yeah, I
So
can understand that.
I'm fairly scared about it right now.
Still
Okay.
a nice offer, though. Yeah.
Yep, same here.
Yeah, we're gonna go up the
Yeah.
road to my in-laws' house. I was hoping we could kind of skip over it, and I was saving my energy for Christmas, but now they want to do something, so it's only going to be get a small turkey and everything. So, and I was supposed to be bringing dressing, so I'm gonna have to make sure it's vegetarian because I got some vegetarians there. So.
See, I just get turkey bacon.
I used to love turkey bacon, but I've gone off it. You know.
Oh, I think it's awful. Oh,
Yeah, we live about a half-mile away from big hospital here, so we're used to hearing the helicopters flying over all the time.
Mm.
And yeah, until she mentioned it, I hadn't thought of it, but I haven't heard the helicopters for several days, which is unusual for the time we've lived here.
black helicopters?
Black helicopters.
No.
Well, what was I gonna say? Yesterday I was sitting there during Dave's stream, and I'm sitting there knitting, and all of a sudden I hear like this bashing and crashing. I'm like, what the hell is that? I walk outside, and someone was having a birthday march. They had like the high school band down at one of their grandmother's houses for her birthday. Like it's a thing in Louisiana where they'll march around on birthday. But you could hear it all over the neighborhood. I'm just like, you could have warned your neighbors. Because I went out there to scream at my neighbor and tell him to turn the friggin' music down, and he was coming out to scream at me to turn the music down. And we're like, it's not me. We thought they were going to go down the whole street, but they didn't. So.
Yeah, I think I'm fairly low risk as far as it getting too serious, but I know the building I live in, there's a lot of elderly people, and there's several people who are on oxygen. So I just, if I bring it back into the building, it could kill somebody here.
Yeah.
Well, you can just fucking catch it anywhere nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's what I mean, that I try to be careful with it because I don't want to take the risk of spreading it to somebody who'd be more vulnerable.
Yeah. Well, right now I'm getting anything I want, anything I ask for, because my husband doesn't want me to leave the house because of my asthma and everything. You don't want me catching it, so.
Yeah.
But I'm an introvert, but this is getting a bit much being in the house. Like, I'd like to be able to leave at least, once a week, for more than a couple of hours. But it's just like a trip to the grocery store on Saturday, then back to the house,
I have to go to the hospital a few times a month, and that's pretty much the only outage I've had. And I just take a slow drive home or go sit in the park.
Yeah, I saw a couple of weeks back you were having lunch by the river.
Yeah.
Yeah, around here we really haven't had any, tough restrictions on it, but I just go to the store for supplies and go to the post office to send out stuff that I've got online orders for, and that's it.
Oh, but by the way, Purple, I was down by the river last week, and I swear I saw a piece of shit from you floating past me. And I just wanted to ask you to stop that.
What do you sell online? What do you sell online, Purple?
How do you know it was mine? Well, the main thing is Lego.
Okay. Like, you make them and sell them, or are you just reselling Lego or something?
No, it's it had been a side business I've had for years, but during the COVID, it's really gotten to be much more prolific.
Yeah.
Basically, it's like I wait until after the holidays, and like in January, February, I can buy the stuff on clearance for 50-75% off.
Mm-hmm.
And if I put it away in a closet and wait about 2 years, people pay the original retail price again.
There you go.
So I get 50% profit just for storing the stuff for a while.
Well, there you go then. Good money maker. I ruined half of this side panel that I was undoing because it was all tore up, and I had to try to cut it every which way to get it start to unravel. But it's okay. I can use the little end pieces for stitching the garments, so it's not a waste.
Do you ever watch any of the fabric arts shows? The quilting, sewing, blah blah blah, on public television?
No, I don't. I know that they're on like PBS and things like that, but
Hmm.
I don't usually watch those. Although my biggest gripe is trying to find free patents, because a lot of the patents they want you to pay $1 or $2 for.
Well, that's not too bad.
I'm cheap.
Oh well, okay. If you're cheap, you're cheap.
Well, that's another thing you should hook up with Sloth Girl for. Maybe you could trade some patterns.
All of mine are online, but I'd be happy to, No.
Yeah, well, all of hers are in her tablet or in an online account.
Yeah.
Which actually saved us quite a lot moving from the years ago when it used to be several boxes full.
Yeah.
Because people don't think about how heavy a box of paper is.
Oh, it is.
Oh yeah.
They don't think though.
Yeah, you always want to have a hand cart when you're carrying books or any big paper products. I was thinking about that extra money thing. I got an offer today where a friend of mine, he's a guitar player, he's been on my show before. He's moving his little camper trailer on the back of my property and is going to pay me rent and stuff. So I haven't made a deal with him or anything yet, but at least I'll have help with the electricity and stuff. So and he can. I can use him. He's a good guitar player and singer too, so I can use him for my channel whenever the hell I want. He'll be right there.
The economy is going to be so different when this virus thing is over. There's so many people starting underground and underground economy type things going.
Black market.
Well, and what Randy's saying with the friend parking his trailer there, that's part of why the tiny homes got to be so popular. Is because there were a lot of people who were building them and parking them in a relative's backyard. That it was a way to get around building codes to have two residences on one property and not have to pay all the expenses.
Kind of like the idea of a tiny home. You could just take off whenever you want to. You got everything with you.
We have some of those summertime camping areas that people will buy on an annual basis. And there's a number of tiny homes on some of the plots there.
Yeah.
It's pretty neat.
Speaking of tiny homes, I haven't seen B in a while. Family.
Is B into tiny homes?
B has a tiny home.
Yeah, she lives in one.
Family.
Oh.
Yeah.
I haven't seen her around in about the last week or so, but not too long.
Yeah. Yeah, she's got the tiny home with a cat. Or she got cats. I can't remember.
My house is 398 square feet.
Well, that's nice and cozy.
My apartment is 300 square feet.
That's enough room for me.
Yep.
Yeah.
I won't tell you how much mine is. I have to clean it. We live in in a small area of it, so I don't have to clean the whole damn thing.
Yeah, my apartment's about 400 some square feet.
Although it seems like a shoebox when the kids come, the nieces and nephews.
Yeah.
It's like there's someone everywhere, every damn room. I'm like, oh my god.
Well, when I was living in St. Paul, it was me and my ex and 3 teenage girls in a 530 square foot bungalow.
How did you not kill them?
Yeah, with only one bathroom.
Oh, no.
My brother and sister-in-law live in this, it's probably around 3,000 square foot, 3,500, something like that.
Yeah.
Size ranch design house in the suburbs. And they think it's too crowded if there's one person staying there.
Well,
yeah.
Taking up one of their 5 bedrooms.
Ours is a ranch style house as well. And it's 2,100. And even that's huge, but my yard needs to own a tiny home. Yep. Forget that. Okay.
Well, my actual Lego collection is on about the same scale. That
Yeah.
half of it is still in storage in Michigan because it would have needed a separate U-Haul.
Oh gosh. Okay. Do you guys want to hear the craziest thing I've heard all week?
Sure.
I saw my neighbor across the road in Walmart. Now, we haven't been going around over to see them because they're elderly. I don't want them to, catch COVID or anything like that, and it's Louisiana and it was hot and I don't want to stand on the, the lawn talking to them. But I saw the husband in Walmart and he said that he's selling his house and moving because he's sick and tired of people not wanting to make friends with him. You're going to sell your house and move to Florida. And I said to him, so what's going to happen if the same thing happens in Florida? You're going to sell that one too? Yeah. That's the craziest reason to move house I've ever heard.
Yeah, I don't get that logic.
I didn't catch that. People wouldn't what?
People don't want to make friends with him. And we're in the middle of a pandemic, so no one's coming around. So he's sick and tired of people not wanting to make friends. So he's going to sell his house that he's worked on. He has modded that house. He built his old lady a she shed. He's put about $100,000 value into that house, and because he's throwing a tantrum,
Yep. I think this is.
He doesn't understand that he needs to be out making the effort.
That's what I said. I said to my husband, doors go both ways, phones go both ways. He's not once knocked on our door, And I was trying to do the nice, polite thing of not going over there to potentially get them sick, So it just feels like a slap in the face, Because we've been we were friendly with them, in the beginning, and everything, and then, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, I think this is going to be one of the big effects of the COVID is that we will have a lot more people working at home. Mm-hmm. Because I think both individual people and the companies are going to realize the cost saving involved in that.
Oh, yeah.
Where they've been resistant to doing it.
I know. They're using my electric. They're not using theirs,
Sloth Girl says it's not a she shed, it's a lady lair.
Oh, okay. A lady lair. Lady lair. But you should see it. It's like a tiny little house. It's beautiful. He even, put electric in there and everything. Wired it up because he used to be a lineman and then he got injured, so he knows about all that stuff.
Was he a lineman for the county?
And what's the rest of that song? I am a lineman.
And I drove the main road.
That's it. Yep. There's nothing wrong with Glenn Campbell. Rest his soul. Poor guy.
Yeah,
didn't he get dementia in the end?
If I knew somebody around here, I'd be glad to pay somebody, rent to be able to put a shed on a corner of their property.
Yeah, exactly.
Just so I could have a little space I could use for a workshop and have electricity.
Mm. Yeah, you'd have to really know someone not they would want to deal with the noise and everything, and
No, I could soundproof it fairly well.
Yeah.
Don't get that started.
Sorry.
No, I'm the sociopath. I'm not going to yawn with you. That was on an episode of was it one of those crime shows that they were trying to say that they go sociopaths don't have empathy, so if you yawn, they won't yawn as well.
Oh, that makes me a sociopath.
Criminal mind.
I don't think that has to do with empathy, does it?
No, I don't. It was a TV show. So,
Yeah. The yawning reflex is like it's like some kind of neurological reaction. It doesn't have to do with your empathy, I don't think.
Yeah. Well, my teacher used to tell us when we were younger that if we were yawning, it meant we were learning things.
Actually, it just means your brain needs a shot of oxygen.
Yeah.
So it's popping bubbles in your jaw to release oxygen to your brain.
Yep.
If you listen closely when you yawn, you can hear the popping at the top of your jaw where it connects next to your ear.
I was aware it always made my jaw pop. I wasn't aware that was the
Yep.
I just thought that
Yeah,
was
it's
my
a little.
TMJ.
Yep, it's a little oxygen bubbles that pop and release into your brain. That's why we yawn. That's why animals do it too,
Yeah.
or I should say, other animals.
Yeah. Well, no, I thought honestly, I just thought that was my TMJ, but I had a mouth guard custom made. Those things are expensive, but I'm trying to wear it. But every time I put it in, like I'll start gagging because I have a really bad gag reflex. I've only been able to wear it maybe 5 or 6 times out of the last 3 months. Yeah. What is it with Mandy Patinkin? He always leaves the shows he's in. Like Criminal Minds. He was in what was it? Homeland. Like he seems to leave, and he was in Dead Like Me and then he left.
Yeah.
He doesn't
Well,
want to get typecast.
I don't think he left Dead Like Me. He just wasn't in the movie because he was in it. I think it was only 2 seasons, and he was in every episode of the series.
Yeah.
And then they did a movie afterward, and the actress that played Daisy Adair didn't play her in the movie, and they just sort of like wrote out Rube's character.
Yeah, but he's already typecast anyway.
Yeah, I
You
love
can't.
Dead Like Me. I love that show.
Yeah.
I just recently rewatched it as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a sweet show.
Yeah, I like that
So-
show.
Yeah.
Except for that girl's smile got stupider and stupider towards the end of it.
Yeah.
I always liked her smile, though. But hey, it takes different strokes to move the world.
Yep.
Yep.
That was Ellen Mirth. That was her name, Ellen Mirth.
Yeah.
What are you saying damn it for?
I'm just looking at something on Craigslist.
Oh. Did you buy that set you were showing me?
Mm-mm. No, I'm on the hunt for a sewing machine.
Oh,
They go for amazingly cheap.
I have one in my attic that was from 1941. My grandmother used it to make parachutes.
making parachutes?
Yep, and other things for the military. She was one of those.
I'm looking specifically for a Brother CS7000i
That's unusually
sewing
specific.
machine. You can buy them new on bargain places online for like $200, and if you find one used, you can get it for $100 or less. And it's completely computer controlled, so it has like 50 different stitches. It can do it's self threads.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, does it self-thread?
Yeah. yeah, it does. But it's just portable that's just put on the table. And so I'm also looking for a good deal on one of the ancient Singer treadle type, and I'll take the machine and stuff out of there, and I'll rebuild it so that it can take the portable. So I got the modern machine in the old cabinet.
Yep. Yeah, we've got a serger machine that needs a bit of work done on it. We need to get somebody to fix that.
So, I know that like money's tight for everyone, but I was thinking we should do like a secret Santa if anyone wanted to participate, even like a $5 limit or something, because we're all on Amazon. We could set up lists, and most of us, I don't know if you have Amazon Prime, we could do free shipping.
Yeah, I've got an Amazon wish list.
Yeah.
And Sloth Girl has the Prime, so can get free shipping on most stuff using her account.
And if I was going to put something on Twitter and the message groups, if anyone wants to do it, if not, don't have to. It was just a thought.
It is a lovely thought. I myself do not participate in Christmas, so
Well, I
I'm
do
sorry.
the atheist Christmas. Don't let the Christians take Christmas from you. They already stole it.
No,
It's
I never wanted Christmas. I had it surgically removed, so
You're missing the point, Doc. It's not Christmas.
Yeah, I observe Yule on the winter solstice.
Yeah.
Like I said, I try to stick to the Scandinavian traditions before Christianity got there.
Yeah, it was stolen.
Before Christianity wrecked everything.
Yeah, atheists take back the day.
Well, I mean, I don't really celebrate holidays or even my birthday anyway.
Well, you're a real killjoy, hey?
I know, I'm sensing a little Scrooge McDuck here. We're going to have to, bring back the joy to Dog, Love
well,
bombing.
the main reason I like to observe the winter solstice is it's one of the few holidays that is not arbitrary. It just marks the changing of the seasons, which is all based on our planet's position and tilt relative to the sun. So it's not something that people made up. It's just observing the natural passing of time.
Yeah. It's also the point at which days become longer again, start getting longer and longer.
Yeah. Well, that's the winter solstice is the longest night of the year.
Me hope.
Yeah.
Yep. That if you can make it through the longest night of the year, then you should be able to make it through any time.
Exactly.
So I've got a piece on that from last year on my channel.
Oh, you do? I'll have to look it up.
Yep. There's one of my few edited videos called Hold Back the Darkness.
Okay.
So that's probably the piece on there that I'm the most proud of.
And the equinox is what, kids? When day and night is the same length.
Yeah. Well, that's when, if you're at the equator, the day and the night should both be 12 hours. Obviously, will vary based on your latitude.
Hold back the darkness. So, yep, I've got it there. I'll have to look at that.
And I am looking for people to take time slots to run the Christmas Day relay marathon. So we're starting to get that together. I need people to, drop me messages on Twitter. Basically looking for people to host time slots, preferably about 2 hours each for live streams. But if you can only do an hour, that's fine. We can find somebody to fill the other hour.
Okay. Just keeping people company, variety show.
Yeah, basically it's just each person will do it for a while, and then pass it on to the next channel, so that no matter what time of day anybody's coming in or out, if they're doing things with other people or if they're just home all day, that there will always be some place they can go to just to chat with friends, so nobody will be alone on Christmas Day.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, I know, because I know Diana's really upset about
I might get into that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Lavender Lady's upset about Christmas. So.
Yeah, the holidays do get her down. Yeah. And I know a lot of people, and this year especially, because I know even people who might normally, be spending it with family or friends.
Yeah.
A lot of people just can't travel now.
Hey, we could have Harmonica Man do Christmas carols on his harmonica.
Yeah, that's something. I can get to practicing right away on that.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, if you want to
Jingle bells
provide us some music.
Yeah. That'd be good.
Well, now you got me in a quandary.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Well, it happens that Christmas Day happens to be Friday this year.
Yeah.
It'll be starting out with my normal live stream Thursday night. That'll run into Christmas morning.
Okay.
And when I wrap that up, then we're going to be sending it over to Australia for Not Your Witness's Christmas party.
Okay.
So then we're just looking for people to pick it up all through Christmas Day after that. And I've got a couple of people who have said that they're interested in participating. Nobody's committed to specific time slots yet, so everything's wide open.
Yeah.
So anybody who wants to participate, just drop me a DM on Twitter with, what hours you would want to host.
Definitely.
And we'll get a schedule together for it.
So you've already got. I mean, your Thursday night stream usually lasts what, 3 hours?
It varies a lot, but yeah, I'll be
Yeah.
planning to run it for 4 hours because
4
then
hours.
at 4 a.m. U.S. Central Time is when Nacho will be starting.
Okay.
Because he's I think he's 13 hours ahead of us.
How many hours has he
Yeah.
committed to?
I think he's planning to do 4 hours, but by that time it'll be like, afternoon in Eastern Europe and the UK.
Mm-hmm.
So I expect we'll probably have some people from the UK willing to pick it up for a few hours at that point.
And Linda would probably want to do a little too as well.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because I'm not 100% sure that we are doing Christmas on Christmas with the family. I think we're doing it on the Saturday or the Sunday after a sister gets in. So I think I'm free, but I can't commit yet because I need to check the diaries. But if we're at the house by ourselves, then yeah, I'd be happy to jump in. But I gotta check and see what everyone's doing.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. I know a lot of people, they may be like going to see family for a few hours.
Yeah.
So if you want to come in before or after that,
Yeah.
and you don't necessarily have to host, just that's going to be open for anybody to, come into the side chat whenever you like.
Yeah. Yeah. And just like I say, I mean, I'm not opposed to it. I just got to check and see what we're doing.
Yeah, and if anybody's interested in checking out from last year, on my channel, there's a playlist that has all of the streams that participated in it last year.
Oh, I definitely have to look at that.
Last year, we wound up keeping it going for 40 hours nonstop.
Wow.
Just passing it from channel to channel. Well, doing it as a relay, it was easier because, I didn't have to be there for the whole thing, and I did get to lay down for a while in the middle of it.
Yeah, just looking at the playlist now. Mr. Bear,
Yep.
Dallas Wade.
Yeah, and we actually picked up some new people that way. We brought a couple of people into the community who, nobody knew before.
Absolutely. Recovering Catholic.
I got to finish my shelving so I can set up my Lego train.
Oh, yes.
No, I have one of the Lego Christmas trains from 2008. And it's like I have had this for years and I have never had enough space to actually set it up. So, yeah, actually, T and Danish and I were discussing about having a Lego building live stream. So we might wind up working that into the Christmas Day thing at some point.
Oh, there you go.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah,
feature it on there, and then
we were both going to start with the same set and just build it together.
You should have a race. People
Was kind of
say,
thinking that. Yep. Although I'm not a speed builder, I'd probably lose that. But
oh, come on.
Say, Perp, do you think it's possible to make a Lego harmonica?
I would be surprised if it hasn't been done by now.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
there's got to be a way to at least make. There's got to be at least a way to make some kind of like flute or something out of Lego.
Well, I'm sure you could build the harmonica out of Lego and probably use some kind of paper for a reed in there to get the sound.
Yeah.
Well, could you just take apart an old harmonica and use its reed plate?
Well, yeah. But see, the purists would get mad at you if it wasn't all official Lego stuff. So, like if you could use a page from a Lego instruction book, then it would be all official Lego parts and you'd be safe.
Puritan.
I'm not like that. I'm at the point that I may wind up having to paint some Lego just because of the limited range of parts that the deep purple color comes in. So I need some more deep purple, and I don't think that the pieces I need are made in that color.
In a Gata Davida, baby. Sorry.
But yeah, along with building my new computer, I got a stop motion animation package. So I'm gonna try to start experimenting with doing stop motion animation with the Lego.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I did some of that when I was in high school with a Super 8 movie camera using the Star Wars action figures.
Mm-hmm.
That's a peculiar term, stop motion. That doesn't seem like it would make a very long movie.
That's not what it means.
I know. It means move the part a tiny, tiny, tiny bit, take a picture, move the part a tiny, tiny, tiny bit, take a picture.
Well, if you think about it, cats and dogs should never be able to walk because they're always on pause.
This is true.
Oh, geez.
How do they do that?
I'm afraid we're going to have to exterminate Purple.
No.
Oh, let Sloth Girl get started on the puns.
Hey, don't go talking against puns, man. Most of us urban horrors are like centuries old. So like back in the day, puns were considered the highest form of comedy.
Yeah.
Well,
and sarcasm is the lowest.
The definition of a good pun is a short chuckle followed by a long groan.
There you go. It affects you emotionally no matter what. It works.
Well, laughter is actually a nervous reaction. People laugh because they don't know how to respond to what just happened.
Mm-hmm. That happens to me sometimes.
Really?
Like, I'm laughing when I'm not supposed to.
Well, that's why, any joke has to have an element of surprise. That's how you get the laughter, because something unexpected happened. The punchline is always some twist in the story that you didn't see coming.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah, like take for
Kinda
example.
like that dream I had.
Well, take for
Go ahead,
example. How did Trump cross the road? Or why did Trump cross the road?
Yeah.
His dick was stuck in the chicken.
Oh, Jesus.
What were you going to say, Harmonica?
Oh, I was going to say, it's like that dream I had the other night that I slept with a kaleidoscope and then it came in all shapes and sizes.
Actually, that's so funny you mentioned that because I bought a kaleidoscope for Christmas for my nephew.
Oh, cool.
Is a kaleidoscope something you use for watching car accidents? I want to live in a world where chickens can cross the road without having their no motivations questioned.
It's like, why did the chicken cross the road? Because it was the turkey's day off. Or there's that really bad joke from I think it was from the Boiler Room. That movie with Giovanni Ribisi, and it was the one where he was working as a stockbroker, and they say, "Why did you cross the road to suck my cock?" And I'm just like, you rude bastards.
Yeah, I've gotten stuck with what's the baddest dark joke I've heard all year.
Oof.
How many dead hookers does it take to change a light bulb?
How many? How many?
Well, obviously more than 8 because the light in the basement is still out.
That's awful. Or how many
That was dark.
light bulb?
What was that, Wanderer?
How many blondes does it take to change a light bulb?
How many?
3,000.
3,000.
Yep. 1 to hold the light bulb and 2,999 to turn the house.
How many computer programmers does it take to change a light bulb?
How many?
That's a hardware issue.
Ha ha. Yep.
How many Klingons does it take to change a light bulb?
How many?
A true warrior is not afraid of the dark.
That's a good one.
Very nice.
Did you hear the one about the pirate and the steering wheel?
What?
Yeah, I know this one.
What is it?
Pirate walks into a bar. He's got a little steering wheel hanging out the front of his pants. And the bartender looks at him and says, "Hey, pirate, you got a steering wheel hanging out the front of your pants." And the pirate goes, "Oh, I know, it's driving me nuts."
That's a good one.
It's,
Hey, what was that movie you said we should look out for, Harmonica?
Pirates of the North Coast.
Did you get paid at least?
Oh, yeah. Yep, all the food I could possibly eat. I had some moonshine. $300.
Sweet.
Wow. You got actual cash for it. Usually most type of movies, you're good to get a free lunch.
Exactly.
Right?
have you ever been on a film
But I was one of the main characters, so.
have you ever been on a film that you knew while you were making it was so bad you asked them not to put your name on it? I have.
I don't see you in any of the photographs on Indiegogo.
How many linguists does it take to change a light bulb?
How
None,
many?
because the light bulb needs to be replaced.
Oh. Pedantic.
How many therapists does it take to change a light bulb?
How many?
Just one, but the bulb has to want to change.
I was waiting for that.
Yep.
Oh, what's 10
Okay,
lawyers
a
at the
man
bottom
walks
of the sea?
into the house.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Oh, no. I said, what's 10 lawyers at the bottom of the sea?
A good start.
There you go. You go ahead, Monica.
Okay,
Yeah, a
Randy.
guy walks into the house and he's got a duck under his arm. And he looks at his wife and he's like, "This is the pig I've been seeing." And his wife said, "That's not a pig, that's a duck." And the guy says, "I wasn't talking to you."
Love it.
Okay.
I made up one the other day. 2 Republicans, quote unquote, walked into a bar. The third one I kicked.
Love it. That's good.
A priest,
This
a rabbi.
is the time of day where I can go.
A priest, a rabbi, and an armadillo walk into the bar. The bartender looks at him and says, "What, is this a joke?"
Love it.
A priest, a monk, and a rabbit walk into a bar. The rabbit says, "I may be a typo."
Yes. Love it.
Wee. Earth humor, art.
Yep.
Or
That was a good old show.
So two blondes walk into a bar. Ow, ow.
Oh, I'm finally seeing some photographs of Randy from this movie.
Oh, you found it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Finally.
is it out there now? Where'd you find it at?
Not the movie, but there's some what you call it, like digital art and stuff, and like it's on a thing called Trusty Digital Media. I just put in the name of the movie into Google. And it's got some
okay.
just some
I'll check it
advertising
out later.
for the film. Are you wearing a captain's hat?
Yep.
Is
Now
this
see,
your
when you
first
game-
film?
It was kind of funny too. They had
How's
some
that?
lemon squirters that they were filming me like when I was taking a leak or whatever, and I had a couple little paper boats that I was squirting, but I wasn't actually peeing on them, using lemon squirters. And every time one of the little bubbles, you or whatever, I'd go So I don't know if they caught that or not. But yeah, I
they
was
haven't got a
singing and
release
everything,
God damn it.
So they haven't got a release date yet, though, for the film.
Oh, that's fine. I did my part.
How did you hook up with them? You knew them, or you?
It was a
answered
Craigslist
ad?
ad, actually.
Oh, why am I not surprised?
Yep. And then the guy said, yeah, exactly. And the guy said, well, we already have somebody for the part and everything, but why don't you phone me with your video and we'll see. And then I did. And then about an hour later, he's like, yeah, we were all talking about it, and you're just the asshole for the part. And I'm like, all right. So that's part.
Like, I think that's a compliment.
Yeah.
Backhanded compliment.
Well, I pride myself on it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the captions with these pictures here.
Militant.
The captions with these pictures here really sell it. Franny playing the freshly showered, distressed woman.
I know, right?
Shot in Frank's house for a full week.
Yep.
Oh, now I'm dying to see it.
Do a project like that.
Yeah, when I showed up early in the morning, there was young actors laying all over the place. Had cots and couches and blow-up mattresses and all kinds of stuff. And boy, did it stink in there. Them young folks can sure fart after a night burrito eating.
Are you sure that was the smell of burritos?
Yeah, it looks like the
I
campaign
don't
to
know.
fund it is not going all that well.
It's like burritos mixed with sex and drink.
Smell of former burritos.
Yeah.
Yep. I did that one time. I ate a bunch of burritos and went into a museum because I wanted to be a little artsy fartsy.
I don't know. I've always been afraid of Craigslist because I had heard vaguely about it, in TV shows and things before I came to the States, and then I heard of the Craigslist killer, and I'm like,
I got a few things off of Craigslist over the years, including some jobs.
I've gotten dozens of things off of Craigslist. You just got to be smart.
Is that where you got the itch from?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, and Sloth Girl brought this up, and this actually happened. That the Trump campaign was placing Craigslist ads to hire minorities to show up at his rallies.
Really?
God.
That's a dick move.
Yeah, they put Craigslist ads out that they were going to pay $100 each for Latinos to show up at his rallies.
Wow. Well, I don't know why I'm surprised. I wouldn't put anything past that asshole.
Could you say that again, Perp? The
people from the Trump campaign had put ads on Craigslist that they would pay Latinos $100 to show up at his rallies.
And I was like, I don't know.
Or
why
is
I'm
Latino a
surprised.
term I'm not supposed to use anymore?
To burrito or not to burrito? That's the question, Sloth Girl.
No, I didn't think Latino was what you're allowed to use.
Okay. I wasn't sure if I was like being unintentionally offensive there.
No,
I mean, if I'm going to offend people, I want it to be intentional.
exactly. Like, you're gonna know if I'm,
Well, that way they know you care.
Hey, if I can get used to the Australians calling me a cunt.
I'm still not allowed to say that word. It's not fair.
It's a real stumper to people is when you kick their door in and run right up to them and get in their face and say, "Rubber baby buggy bumpers," and then ran out.
Well, it's like one of my friends from high school, whenever his brother would go to drink milk or something like that, he'd always say something to make him spit it out. And he was about to take a sip. He's got it halfway in his mouth, and he goes, "Rampant beach sex," and milk went everywhere. Oh, he was an asshole. Good guy though.
I'm thinking that an appropriate observation for Atheist Day would be to carry a knife and fork and keep peeking into baby strollers.
Or you'd have to act like that weasel on Looney Tunes too.
Yep.
Another way to have fun in public is walk around in Walmart until you hear somebody over the intercom, and then grab your head and drop to the floor and scream, "No, the voices are back! No!"
Yes. See a Walmart, they'd be like, "Meh." So they wouldn't care. They just keep walking.
Well,
They'd
I
be
keep
like,
having
"What's this, Tuesday?"
Exactly.
Oh, look what
I have this little voice in my
head.
head that keeps telling me, "Kill your boss, kill your boss," which is really disturbing when you're self-employed.
Exactly.
Oh, I get it.
I was telling somebody the other. When I was on a bit of tea in Danish. I was explaining how I got kicked out of my one-man band. That's how depressed I am.
Okay,
Yeah, I used
well,
to have
we're going to
multiple
just continue with
personalities, but we're all better now.
Well, I need to go and eat, so I'm gonna bow out because I gotta go.
Well, I was just going to ask if we're just going to continue with the bad jokes or if we should just wrap it up here.
I think so. Wrap this burrito up.
Yeah, we might want to quit while we're behind.
Okay, well, thanks for joining us, Randy. Do you want me to add you onto the list there so that you'd get the links? I was having trouble finding you on Twitter.
Yes,
So
I would very much love to play.
Okay, so can you just send me a thing on Twitter so I can connect with you? Mine's just PurpleWRorange.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah, okay, then I'll add you to the list, and, then every time I do a stream, you'll get the link for it. Okay, well, and with that then, does anybody have anything coming up they want to plug?
No, but
Well, there'll be Purple's midnight show tomorrow.
Yes.
And then movie night on Friday.
Yeah, I'll be doing my midnight show in 21 hours from now.
And Critical Cripples question show.
Yep.
I think that's Friday.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm not sure what time Critical Cripple is doing his.
I think if it's the evening, yeah, if it's the evening show, it's
3:30.
at about 3:30, 4 o'clock Eastern.
Okay. I have to get the time on that.
I have live on Saturdays at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's live with the Harmonica Man, and I'm going to have somebody telling stories from the road. He's a good friend of mine, and we're starting this. This is going to be part of the show, not just live shows and music, but we're going to tell blues stories or whoever's rock and roll. Somebody's met somebody famous and has a funny story or whatever, write in or whatever, and I'll read it off over the air or whatever on the channel. So trying to build up and have fun with everybody here. Have a little bit of music too.
Cool.
Oh, and just going with the paranormal theme that we started with, I had wanted to get Dallas Wade in here, but he was working. But I put his link in the side chat there. If you check out his channel through October, he did a whole series of paranormal investigations, playing with the Ouija board, going to a haunted playground that was in the middle of a graveyard, and doing a pagan ritual. So a bunch of interesting stuff they did short videos on. It's worth checking out.
Okay.
Groovy.
Cool.
That basically these were things that he was saying that he would have believed in at one time and was just testing them out to see if he could get any results from anything. Okay, so with that, we will bid you all adieu. Thank you all for coming.
Adieu.
Bye-bye.